speak to a doctor and I ask the doctor, do you do any advertising? It's also like they look at me like, oh my God, I don't spend any money on advertising. I think that's cheesy. Whenever you see a lawyer on the radio or a dentist on the radio, I think that they're very cheesy. A lot of trainers look at it like that. Like, I don't spend a penny on advertising, almost as if their nose in the air.
Mm-hmm.
And, I guess the question I'm asking, Neil, is basically, what do you think of the trainers that, in a sense, feel all high and mighty, saying that they don't spend any money on advertising?
Well, number one, I don't believe that. AJ, I don't like to brush my teeth every morning. But I have to do it, otherwise my breath's going to stink. Right? It's just a fact of life. The challenge we have right now is that how are people going to know about what you do if you don't make your message known to people, right? And traditionally, advertising, rightly or wrongly, has had a negative association with it. You're being a cheesy salesman trying to steal money from someone, and you're going to go away. You're a used car salesman. Let me put it that way. Advertising is associated with the used car salesman. Good news and bad news. Good news is that's gone. Well, there's still used car salesmen out there, but the good news is that that method of advertising is gone. The advertising now is more helping your customers, because if you help more people, you get more reward. Okay? There's two ways of dealing with the situation. Number one, you don't want to advertise and you don't want to market. It could be for two reasons. One, genuinely you don't have any money. Okay? Then acknowledge that fact that you don't have any money to do it, and there's nothing wrong with it. So now you can do a lot of free things that can even give you a better result than spending money in advertising, going on Facebook, blogging, helping people, genuinely helping people. Or number two, if you have a successful business and you tell me you're not advertising, I just don't believe you. I'm not saying you're lying, there's a huge difference there. I just don't believe you, because you're advertising in different ways. You're talking to people, you're asking for referrals, you're writing. There's no business that can survive. Advertising has been around since the beginning of time, and it's not going to go away. So the problem is you have this negative association with advertising, and number two, you feel that because you've attained a certain level of professionalism and status, you shouldn't be advertising. The day you get over it and get over yourself is the day you're going to make money. And let me tell you something. There's not a single business in the world or an entrepreneur that's successful that doesn't do some form of advertising. Okay? Somewhere along the line there has been advertising. Not in the traditional sense of the word, in the new sense of the word. So, I mean, I'm not here to convince anyone that you can or can't do advertising. Okay? The only thing I can say is that if you don't want to do advertising, good for you. Don't brush your teeth in the morning. Let's see how that works out every day with your clients, right? Or you can change your mindset and look at it differently. Don't advertise, help people, okay? If you can go out and find people that say, hey, I'm desperate to lose 20 pounds, I've tried everything, I failed, please help me. There's questions on Yelp, there's questions on Amazon, there's questions on Facebook, there's questions on Twitter, you can find them. If you can help people, you're going to be more successful. And if you look at advertising and marketing from that perspective, you change your mindset, you automatically become more helpful and more successful in your business. I don't know what the right answer. I cannot judge the person that wants to do advertising or not. But in this day and age, in this world, something very interesting is happening here. And Gary Vaynerchuk talks about it. We're on the dawn of one-on-one marketing. On one-on-one marketing. There's no more mass marketing. Although that you think there is mass marketing, there isn't any mass marketing. People are smart. They go do the research online, they check online, they find out online, and they want to know you can deliver the goods to them. I'm talking about services. I'm not talking about buying a can of Coke. We can always draw analogies and discount what's working and what's not working, and why it's working or why it's not working, and why advertising works and doesn't work. When it comes to personal services, people want to know you, like you, and trust you. You can call it marketing, you can call it communication, you can call it whatever you want to. At the end of the day, you've got to prove to your customer you're good before you can get it. And you know what the problem is? There's too many doctors in this world. There's too many personal trainers in this world. There's too many of everything in the world. You've got to cut through the clutter to get the result. But don't for 1 second judge advertising, because what usually happens is people judge, a doctor will judge advertising as being bad, right? So you judging and being critical about a profession, about a system of communicating that's been around. So, you can judge and you can decide what the rewards is. So, if you're open-minded about things, you'll be much more successful no matter what profession. One last thing. My sister is a medical doctor. And I hope she doesn't see this video. But she's a medical doctor. And when we first started speaking about medical stuff for her practice, she couldn't even believe that she had to market and she didn't want to do it. And actually we had a fight and argument and it went way out of control. Because she felt she spent 12 years studying and she's got, different degrees and higher level of education now. She's a pediatrician, and that required more and more studying. Because she is who she is, patients should come to her, and that's the demand. It's supply demand. In certain areas of the country, for sure, there's not enough demand, there's not enough supply. Therefore, people are going to come to you without advertising. But what happened is, where she's working, it turned out there were too many pediatricians. And then one day, she came back and said, okay, how do I do this? So for someone who didn't want to do it, to how do you do it? It's the market. No one is bigger than the market. Nobody is bigger than the market. The market will drive whether you do marketing or you don't do marketing, or whether you starve or not, or you build a successful business. So bottom line is, we came up with this idea where she creates video to give first-time mums ideas and tips of how to take care of the baby. Business is booming. It's insane. She's creating videos. No keywords, no nothing, no marketing content whatsoever. People are lining up and filling an order book, right? So don't judge, don't be judgmental. Look at the market. And if you're a commodity in the market, and unfortunately, commodity in the sense that how many people are doing the same thing will determine whether you need to advertise or not. So I don't know if that's been helpful at all, or it even makes sense.
Extremely helpful. Yeah, I think you hit all the major points on the head. But the biggest thing is, look at it as advertising is not a negative thing, but you're helping people. You have a very powerful message, a very powerful service. Nobody friggins, you're very unique. So you have to let people know about that in every aspect of your life.
Mm-hmm.
So, like you said, advertising is not evil. It's actually very beneficial. So changing up that framework and seeing how to constantly help people here. So you answered that very well, Neil.
All right, thanks, AJ.